Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Collins here with Tuesday's maths lesson. Here's your short date and learning objective to write in your book, and a little picture of a panda on a rocking horse, which I hope makes you smile this morning. Pause the video, give yourself time to write that in your book, and press play when you're ready to start. Welcome back. Have you got your pencil ready? Let's get going. Our starter activity is asking us to write all the factor pairs of 15. Can you remember what factor pairs are? The factors are the numbers that we times together to get the answer in a multiplication calculation. So how can we make 15? I taught you before the best way to work through this is to work systematically. Start from 1 and work your way up. I'm starting with the number 1. 1 times 15 equals 15. And I can switch those numbers round to do it the other way. 15 multiplied by 1 equals 15. So 1 and 15 are factors of 15. Can you make 15 a different way? We've done 1. What about the 2 times table? Does 15 come in the 2s? No, it's an odd number. 3 times table? Yeah, let's count in 3s just to check. Count with me. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 times 3 equals 15. And I can write that the other way. 3 times 5 equals 15. So 3 and 5 are factors of 15. Are there any other ways to make 15 using multiplication? No, 15 doesn't come in any of the other times tables. So the factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5 and 15. Do you think you could have a go at this yourself? I think you're ready. On the screen you'll see 3 Chilli challenges, and I'd like you to work out the factors for these numbers. The number 12, the number 24 and the number 36. Which 2 numbers can you times together to make this answer? Could you ever go at all 3? Pause the clip, give yourself 5 minutes, write as many down as you can and press play to go through the answers. Good luck! Welcome back, Year 4. Let's see where we got to. So, how can we make 12? 1 times 12, 12 times 1, 2 times 6, 6 times 2, 3 times 4 and 4 times 3. Did you get those factor pairs? Well done if you did. Spicy Challenge asked you to make 24 with factor pairs. What did you get? You work systematically, you will have got 1 times 24, 24 times 1, 2 times 12, 12 times 2, 3 times 8, 8 times 3, 4 times 6 and 6 times 4. Well done if you got those correct. The Hot Challenge asked for the factor pairs of 36. 1 times 36, 36 times 1, 2 times 18, 18 times 2, 3 times 12, 12 times 3, 4 times 9 and 9 times 4. Did you get all those correct? Well done if you did. Oh, those brains should be warmed up now. Let's move on to our Skills Sharp session. Our Skills Sharp is asking us to rewind back to when we were doing written methods of multiplication. 2 digits times by 1 digit. Let's see if we can work on this together. Could you write this sum out in your book? Remember to do the place value headings, thousands, hundreds, tens and ones. The biggest number 24 goes on top and it's asked us to multiply it by 6. So 6 goes underneath. Use your ruler to draw the straight line. Press play when you're ready to work on this sum together. Okay, are you ready to work on this sum together? I hope you've got this written down in your book. Let's start off here, the ones. The first sum we're going to do is 6 times 4. Let's count up in the 4 times table 6 times. Can you count with me? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. We're going to write the number 24 like that in the first row. Now we're going to be timesing by a 10 because we're going to do 6 times 2, but the 2 is a 10. So we'll put our placeholder down because we know that 10s have a placeholder. We're going to say 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 20 is 120. And that zero's reminded us to do that. So far we've done 6 times 4 equals 24 and 6 times 20 equals 120. Now to find the final answer we need to add these two numbers together. So draw a straight line underneath them and let's add. We've got 4 add 0 is 4. 2 add 2 equals 4 again. And 1 add nothing equals 1. So 24 times by 6 equals 144. Have you remembered how to do that now? Do you think you could have a go by yourself? I think you're confident enough. Let's give it a go. Choose your Chilli challenge. Set out your calculation with your hundreds, tens and ones at the top. Remember the biggest number goes on top. Times the ones, then the tens and add the totals together. Press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Welcome back. Have you worked this out using a written method of multiplication? I'm looking forward to seeing these in your homework books. Let's have a look at mild. 24 times by 2 equals 48. Give yourself a tick if you got that right. Well done. 45 times by 5 equals 225. Give yourself a mark if you got that right. 37 times by 6 equals 222. Well done if you got that correct. If you got any of these wrong, you might want to pause the video and have another go. Work slowly. Maybe rewind back to the original example and see where you might have gone wrong. Well done if you did get them right. Let's move on to today's learning. Today we're going to be moving on to something different in maths. We're going to be looking at something called area. Might be something that you've done previously in your maths lessons. Something to do with shape. Can you remember what area is? Maybe you want to pause the video and tell an adult or someone at home, or just have a think. Okay, area is a measurement. And it measures the amount of space inside a 2D shape. So previously we've looked at something called perimeter, which measures the outside of a shape. Well, area measures the inside of a 2D shape. Have a look at these shapes on the board. They're all made up out of yellow squares, and these squares on the screen are centimetre squares, so the length and width of them are centimetres. So what would the area be of this shape? Let's count the inside of it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the area of this shape is 4 centimetres. And then we do squared by doing a little tiny 2 symbol. So the area of this shape is 4 centimetres squared. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one's 4 centimetres squared too. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 4 centimetres squared. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has an area of 4 centimetres squared too. But all of these shapes look different. This one looks longer than the others. This one looks like it could be taller than the others. So that just goes to show that you don't always know the area of the shape. And you can't always compare it unless you can measure the inside of it accurately. A longer shape and a shorter shape might have the same area, depending on how the space is drawn out. What about these shapes? Could I measure the area of all of them? What's the problem? Can you spot it? That's right, it's this shape here. This shape isn't a complete rectangle or a complete compound shape or irregular shape for that matter, because it's not complete at all. Area is the space taken up by a closed 2D shape, like these two shapes. We wouldn't be able to measure the area of this because it hasn't been closed. How would we find the area of this shape? Now again, we've got centimetre squares. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can you remember how to write it? 12 centimetres, and then what do I need? That little tiny 2 to show squared. 12 centimetres squared. So inside of this shape there are 12 centimetre squares. Let's have a look at this example. We've got 3 children who've got some shapes. This girl says the area of this shape is 12. This boy says it's 11. And this girl says the area is 20. Who do you think's right? Well, let's have a look at this one. What's the problem here? Yeah, she can't measure the shape when the squares that she's used to measure are all over the place. Then they've got gaps here, look. And these gaps are gaps in the area that she's not measured. So she can't possibly know that 12 is an accurate measurement. This boy has measured using squares, but some of the squares are tiny and some of the squares are big. You can't measure the area unless you're using equal squares or equal units of measure. Let's have a look at this girl. She says the area is 20. Let's see what's in one square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. She's correct because she's used equal squares and her squares fill the shape completely and there's no gaps. So the area of that shape is 20. What about these shapes? Which ones have the biggest area, the smallest area, or are there any that are the same? What about the triangles? This one has the biggest area. You can see that it's taken up the most space. So that's the largest shape. These two look very similar, but this one's got a space taken out, so that must have the biggest area. And these two I can see are the same because they've all got 4 squares. I think you're ready to start your activity, identifying the area. Some of your questions you might have to write a sentence or an explanation in your maths book. Make sure your sentences are neat and clear so that your teacher can mark them when you hand your book in on Friday. You might want to start with the mile challenge and work your way through. If you need any help, you can email me at the email address. Have fun with area this morning and I'll see you tomorrow for more maths. Bye for now.